The UK, a nation renowned for its stability and tolerance, finds itself grappling with a surge of far-right violence. This unexpected wave of unrest has left many questioning the very fabric of British society. Riots have erupted across towns and cities, fueled by a toxic mix of social unrest, economic anxieties, and the insidious spread of disinformation. These protests have not only disrupted daily life, but have also instilled a sense of fear and uncertainty among the populace. The trigger? A horrific crime, the murder of 3 young girls exploited by far-right groups to incite hatred and division. This tragedy has been manipulated to serve a dangerous agenda, turning grief into a catalyst for violence. Images of burning buildings, shattered glass, and masked figures clashing with police have shocked the nation. These scenes of chaos and destruction are a stark contrast to the UK's image of order and civility. The violence has exposed deep fissures in British society, revealing a simmering undercurrent of anger, fear, and resentment. These emotions have been brewing beneath the surface, waiting for a spark to ignite them. The question on everyone's mind: how did a nation known for its sense of fair play descend into this chaos? Citizens are left bewildered, searching for answers in a time of unprecedented turmoil. The answer is complex, rooted in a confluence of factors that have been brewing for years. Economic disparities, social injustices, and a growing sense of disenfranchisement have all played a role in this eruption of violence. To understand the riots, we must look beyond the immediate violence and delve into the underlying currents of social and economic inequality. These issues have created a fertile ground for unrest, as people feel increasingly marginalized and unheard. The corrosive impact of online disinformation, which has spread like wildfire, distorting perceptions and fueling anger. Social media platforms have become breeding grounds for falsehoods, exacerbating tensions and deepening divides, and the cynical manipulation of fear by extremist groups. These groups have seized upon the current climate to push their agendas, using fear as a tool to rally support and incite violence. These riots are not isolated incidents. They are a stark warning sign of a society grappling with profound challenges. The unrest is a symptom of deeper issues that need to be addressed urgently. The UK faces a critical juncture: confront these challenges head-on or risk further fragmentation and unrest. The choices made now will determine the future trajectory of the nation. The path forward demands honesty, empathy, and a renewed commitment to social justice. It requires a collective effort to bridge divides and heal the wounds that have been laid bare. It's time for a national conversation, one that transcends political divides and seeks common ground. Only through open dialogue and mutual understanding can the UK hope to navigate this turbulent period and emerge stronger. Beneath the surface of the UK's outward stability lies a tinderbox of social and economic grievances. Years of austerity measures, coupled with rising inequality, have left many feeling left behind and disillusioned. The gap between the haves and have-nots has widened, fueling a sense of resentment and injustice. For many, particularly in deindustrialized towns and cities, the promise of a better future seems increasingly out of reach. Jobs are scarce, wages are stagnant, and opportunities for upward mobility are dwindling. The social safety net, once a source of security, has been frayed by cuts, leaving the most vulnerable exposed. This sense of economic insecurity is exacerbated by a perceived loss of control. Globalization and rapid social change have left many feeling adrift, their identities and values under threat. In this climate of uncertainty, extremist groups offering simplistic solutions and scapegoats find fertile ground. The far right thrives on division, exploiting people's anxieties and fears. They peddle narratives of cultural decline, blaming immigrants, minorities, and the liberal elite for society's ills. Their message resonates with those who feel unheard and forgotten, offering a sense of belonging and purpose in an increasingly uncertain world. In the digital age, social media has become a double-edged sword. While it can connect people and amplify voices for good, fostering communities and bridging distances, it also serves as a potent tool for spreading disinformation and inciting hatred. The very platforms designed to bring us together can also drive us apart. The recent riots in the UK have laid bare the dark side of this digital revolution. Social media played a significant role in organizing protests, but it also fueled the chaos. False narratives, often laced with racist and Islamophobic undertones, spread like wildfire on social media platforms. These harmful messages can quickly gain traction, influencing public opinion and inciting violence. The algorithms that govern these platforms, designed to maximize engagement, often prioritize sensationalized content, regardless of its veracity. This means that the most shocking and emotionally charged posts are the ones most likely to be seen. This creates echo chambers where misinformation festers and extremist views are amplified. People are often exposed only to information that reinforces their existing beliefs, making it harder to find common ground. The speed at which disinformation spreads online makes it incredibly difficult to counter. A single misleading post can go viral within minutes, reaching thousands or even millions of users before fact-checkers have a chance to respond. By the time a false claim is debunked, it has often already reached millions, shaping perceptions and fueling anger. The damage is done long before the truth can catch up. This digital manipulation undermines trust in institutions, fuels polarization, and creates a climate ripe for violence. When people no longer trust the information they receive, it becomes easier for malicious actors to exploit these divisions. The UK riots are a stark reminder that we can no longer afford to ignore the dangers of online disinformation. The aftermath of such events leaves communities fractured and in need of healing. Social media companies have a responsibility to address this issue head-on, investing in content moderation and promoting media literacy among users. They must develop better tools to detect and remove harmful content before it spreads. Governments must also play a role, working with tech companies to develop regulations that protect free speech while curbing the spread of harmful content. This collaboration is essential to creating a safer online environment for everyone. Additionally, educational programs on media literacy can empower individuals to critically evaluate the information they encounter online. By teaching people how to identify and question disinformation, we can build a more informed and resilient society. Ultimately, combating disinformation requires a collective effort. Communities must come together to rebuild trust and foster open, honest dialogue. Only by working together can we hope to mitigate the harmful effects of disinformation and create a more united world. Section 4. Class, Identity, and the Politics of Fear. Untangling the Complex Web. In this section, we delve into the intricate and often convoluted interplay between class, identity, and the politics of fear that have come to define much of the contemporary UK landscape.
The UK riots are not simply a product of economic hardship or online manipulation. They are a manifestation of deeper, more entrenched anxieties that have been simmering beneath the surface for years. These anxieties are deeply rooted in issues of class, where the divide between the wealthy and the working class has only grown more pronounced. Identity and belonging also play crucial roles, as people struggle to find their place in an increasingly multicultural and rapidly changing society. The far right has skillfully tapped into these anxieties, exploiting them to advance their divisive agenda. They have become adept at manipulating these fears to create a narrative that serves their interests.
For many working-class communities, particularly those with a history of industrial decline, the sense of being left behind is palpable. There is a pervasive feeling that globalization and social change have bypassed them, leaving their jobs and way of life in the dust. They see their jobs disappearing, their neighborhoods changing, and their traditional values seemingly under attack from all sides. This creates a fertile ground for resentment and anger, emotions that are easily exploited by those looking to sow division. This sense of loss and displacement creates fertile ground for resentment and anger. The far right is quick to seize upon these emotions, directing them towards convenient scapegoats.
The far right exploits this anger, directing it towards convenient scapegoats, immigrants, minorities, and the liberal elite. They craft a narrative that blames these groups for the economic hardships and social ills facing the country. They peddle a narrative of cultural purity under threat, arguing that these groups are to blame for the economic hardships and social ills facing the country. This narrative is designed to create an us versus them mentality, further deepening societal divisions.
This rhetoric of fear and division has found a receptive audience among some who feel a loss of identity and belonging. They are drawn to the idea of a return to a simpler, more homogeneous past. They yearn for a return to a simpler time, when their place in society seemed more secure. This nostalgia is powerful, and the far right knows how to exploit it. the far right offers them a seductive if dangerous solution, a return to a homogeneous nationalistic past. This vision is not only unrealistic but also deeply harmful, as it seeks to exclude and marginalize those who do not fit into this narrow definition of identity.
Section 5. Austerity's bitter harvest. Economic insecurity fuels the flames of extremism.
The UK's decade-long experiment with austerity has had a devastating impact on society, fueling the very conditions that have made the country vulnerable to far-right extremism. The logic of austerity, which prioritised deficit reduction over social spending, has left public services decimated and communities struggling to cope.
Libraries, community centres and youth programmes, once vital lifelines for struggling families, have been shuttered due to lack of funding. Mental health services, already stretched thin, have been pushed to the brink. The social safety net, designed to catch those who fall through the cracks, has been riddled with holes.
This retreat from social provision has created a vacuum that the far right has been all too eager to fill. With their promises of community, belonging and a return to traditional values, they offer a seductive alternative to those who feel abandoned by the state. The economic anxieties exacerbated by austerity have also made people more susceptible to the far-right's scapegoating rhetoric. When people are struggling to put food on the table or keep a roof over their heads, they are more likely to blame outsiders for their plight.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.